The white identitarian group Patriot Front was spotted in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Are these guys patriots, posers, or police? Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the resurgence, I suppose, of the white identitarian group Patriot Front. Now, these guys have been spotted all over the USA doing marches, rallies, masked up, masked off, a little bit of everything. Now, their most recent rally was in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. I think they're right on Broadway, and they're kind of going viral. They're all over the place. People are saying, hey, you got Trump trying to steal the democracy, trying to take the election, trying to be above the law, and now he's brought out some Nazi white supremacists to help him in his goal. First of all, this is all just fear-mongering from the mainstream media. If you see any kind of white identitarian group out in public, marching, organized, I'm willing to bet all of the cash in my pocket, all the tea in China, all the oil in Kuwait, that these guys are infiltrated by the feds, or they're simply just a federal agency. If you, not you guys watching, but if anyone that you may know wants to join some kind of group like this, they're going to be contacting law enforcement. And one day they might all get locked up to make big rocks to little rocks. Similar to the whole Gretchen Whitmer kerfuffle. Remember that? There was a group similar to the Patriot Front that allegedly tried to kidnap the governor over her COVID-19 response. Now, when they go to trial, they realize that 80 to 90% of the people involved were either outright federal agents that worked for the Bureau, or they were informants. It was only a couple of guys that were just regular normies caught up in the nonsense. I think, in my opinion, from my point of view, it's the same thing going on here. Now, before I go any further, we got a news clip of the action out there in Nashville. And of course, I will link to everything in the description. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Members of a far-right group marched through the streets of downtown Nashville yesterday. Brianna Hamlin joins us now with more on that. So, Brianna, where exactly did this happen and what happened?
Jennifer, they marched throughout downtown, and they were seen wearing khakis and blue shirts, covering their faces with a white cloth and wearing sunglasses.
Let's pause for a minute. Now, the whole khakis thing, I think that might come from, what was that, Charlottesville and the Tiki Torches. Remember that whole thing? They tried to blow it out of proportion, which it was really nothing. This whole fear-mongering campaign over these white groups is ridiculous, because I've never heard about these guys hurting anybody. But I know who does hurt people in the community, but I won't talk about that right now, so I digress.
Sunglasses and a cap on their head, and they claim to be here to reclaim America. A viewer sent us this video of the group, who calls themselves Patriot Front.
Now, listen, they have U-Haul trucks. I mean, come on. You think that the government can't track who's buying these trucks? I mean, to behave like the feds don't know what's going on here, and they don't know who these guys are, and they're not tracking them, is simply ridiculous. It's simply ridiculous. You as a regular person might get hemmed up by the feds for a lot less than what's going on right here. A public display of white supremacy, you can forget about it. The feds are involved.
Climbing out of the back of 3 U-Hauls in the parking lot of Nissan Stadium. They continued to march through downtown with their banner, American flags, shields, a Confederate flag, and passing out flyers while chanting on their way to the front of the Capitol. They also spray painted their logo under the Woodland Street Bridge, which is vandalism. The group Patriot Front has caused problems in other cities before. Southern Poverty Law Center calls them one of the most prominent white supremacist groups in the country. In 2022, the FBI assisted in the investigation and arrest of 31 members of the group for conspiring to riot in Idaho at a Pride event. That same year, the city of Boston condemned the group for marching through its streets. This isn't the first time a white supremacist group has marched through Nashville. A similar scene happened downtown in February, and racist flyers have been...
Now, that group right there, this one in February, that was a different group. I forget the name of these guys, but that's a whole different one. But I think they're the same kind of thing. Again, you're out here publicly. Like, of course, there's white identitarian groups, black identitarian, okay, whatever. But to be out there just publicly saying, hey, we're here and we're doing whatever we want to do, the feds are all on it, like white on rice. Please believe me. And for them to think that we don't believe that, it just kind of boggles my mind.
Been spread around Nashville in the past. Data from the SPLC says the number of racist flyers found in Tennessee shot up from 21 reported incidents in 2018 to 268 last year. Regarding yesterday's march, the Tennessee Democratic Party made a statement calling on Republican lawmakers to condemn the acts of the group with them. TNDP Chair Hendrell Remus stated, while our Republican state leaders sit quietly by, we refuse to let hate-filled racists terrorize our community.
Okay, now I got a question for you, Mr. What's your name, boss? Hendrell Remus. I got a question. What are you going to do to stop these so-called hate-filled racists from terrorizing your community? What are you going to do, Mr. Elected Official? Also, can you really break down to me how they're terrorizing? Now, I can understand how you may not like their presence. Of course. Yeah, I get it. 100%. I would not want these feds all in my backyard trying to play like they're white supremacists either. But what does it mean when you say that they're terrorizing? What are they actually doing? You know, it's terrorizing the community in Tennessee, in a place like, I don't know, Memphis, East Chattanooga. It's a community itself. And for you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, when I say the community, I'm talking about the black community in the hood areas. There are many of us who have escaped the hood areas. We're not going to go back. We're not part of the community anymore.
The Jewish Federation of Greater Nashville also wrote a statement saying it is outraged and that it expects city leaders make the group face consequences for assembling without required permits. News Channel 5 did reach out to Metro Police, and they simply told us that they were aware the group is here and that the group has since left.
I mean, it ain't too much else to it because it didn't do anything. All they did was just hop out of the U-Haul that was purchased by some random person that we don't know, although they know everything that you do. Listen, the feds know everything. They look, I just want to make this point. The reason why I'm doing this video is to inform people if you don't know, but you guys are very smart. I know you know already, but not everyone is as smart as all of us. Not everyone has this information yet. Some may think, oh, it was a white supremacist group, ABL. What are we going to do? I'm like, what are we going to do? Like, all that you really could do is call the FBI and say, hey, man, did you guys have a good time in Nashville? Did you guys get something to eat? Did you get some of that Tennessee hot chicken? Did you ride on a little pedal thing they got down Broadway in Nashville? Like, how was your trip to Nashville? Call your federal agents and ask them that. Because, again, from the beginning, as I wrap it on up, put the bow on top, I think these guys are all feds, or at least federal related, the same thing as the Gretchen Whitmer case, because there's no way in 2024 you're going to be allowed to just frolic around freely as a white supremacist organization. You want to be a white supremacist on social media? You want to be a Nick Fuentes or somebody like that? Listen, you're getting banned from the internet. You're getting put on no-fly lists. Your Cash App, your Apple Pay ain't going to work. If they can pretty much unperson you for an allegation, not even a conviction, just an allegation, we think you're white supremacist, we don't like your online content, we're going to unperson you. If they can do that for that, you think that ain't nothing going on here with a public display in the real world? With a lot of people and you all, come on, let's just use our brains a little bit. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on these guys, the Patriot Front? Do you think that they are feds? Do you think that they are legitimate people and they're just pretty much allowed to do whatever they want to do 2024 USA under the presidential reign of Joe Biden and his handlers? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think this is all just propaganda, a way to scare people because of the election coming up. Okay, let's have this so-called white supremacist march right there in downtown Nashville. The politicos hop on it. Oh, well, the Republicans don't want to do anything. We stand against hate. We stand against white supremacy. We stand against terror. It's all bogus. And then they're going to say the same thing when it comes time for the general. Oh, well, under Trump's administration, these groups became more emboldened because of what Trump has said. It's all a game to me. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the fishbowl, like I'm in the Truman Show. For the young folks out there, look that movie up. It's really good. Here I go again. The old man shakes fist at cloud. But seriously, I mean, all this stuff is just obvious to me that it's bogus. It's not really real. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.